environment. Level 4. The candidate demonstrates rapport with and respect for students. The candidate provides a challenging learning environment that promotes mutual respect among students. I filled this rubric slot by first introducing myself and then introducing the project, hopefully in an engaging way, which created a rapport with the students. I also provided a challenging learning environment by making it clear to them that they would be the ones responsible for their learning, and we would just be there to support them while they were learning.
First national monument is Fossil Butte National Monument, and so this would be where we'd have you guys get in your groups and look it up on Google Earth, find out where it's located, and then maybe look up a couple of facts. And so we'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to do that in your groups, then we'll bring you back together.
When you said there was a link on the board,
do you want them to get their groups that are for the for this, or do you want them just to make their own?
I think they hopefully have already made their own groups while we were doing the prep time. So.
Rubric 7, Engaging Students in Learning. Level 4. In the clip, students are engaged in learning tasks that develop their skills to interpret or analyze accounts of historical events or social studies phenomena. This rubric slot is filled because the students that you can see on screen are involved in a task in which they must look for a historical place on Google Earth and then use the internet to develop their own base of knowledge about what is being presented to them with the historical place.
there should be an app.
Raise your hand if you have your 2 facts already. Alright. More time. Is everyone good?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring you guys back together even if you haven't found your 2 facts yet. I should have mentioned, I suppose, that the Google Earth app is in the Social Studies tab on your iPad. And you don't have to use Google Earth to find your facts. You can find them on, I guess, the internet, Wikipedia or whatever. We're going to go ahead and move on. Did anybody find any interesting facts about Fossil Butte before we give you some of our own?
Free.
I saw some people writing some stuff down. Not too bad. All right. Nobody learned anything.
It's by camera.
Great. Thank you.
She knows what
October of 1972. It's a pretty large national monument. It's got over 8,000 acres of land contained within it.
Rubric 8,
We'll find out later that that's
Deepening
not really all
Student
that
Learning,
much when you think of other national
Level
parks
4.
in Wyoming.
Candidate
So,
elicits
yeah,
and
also
builds on
national
student
monument
responses
24
to
is,
develop analysis or
largest
interpretations
deposit of freshwater
of
fish
history
in the
/
entire
social
world.
studies
The
sources
most
and
prominent
accounts.
fossils there are perch,
This rubric
paddlefish,
slot is
garbs,
filled
and
because
stingray.
in the clip
Something that's sort of interesting
it
is
can be seen that we are
these
now
fossils are here now, but
teaching the
they
students
weren't
things
there
we
for
want them
these
to know
fossils are here
about
now,
the
but
historical
fish
site,
don't. Most of these
as
fish
well
don't
as
exist in Wyoming
taking
anymore. We don't
feedback
have
from them about
paddlefish.
what they learned and
Paddlefish
connecting that
are
to
sort of in Nebraska as you move
what we
east.
want them to learn and why it's
Stingray,
important.
obviously, we don't have a stingray in Wyoming.
Rubric
And
10,
then as the one group so kindly
Level 3,
positioned about 10 miles
candidate proposes changes that address students' collective learning needs related to the central focus. This rubric slot is filled in the clip above as well as throughout the lesson as we, the teachers, propose new ways to look for information about each historical object as we see the students becoming more effective at looking for it on Google and Wikipedia.
I'll ask you to step out fast.
Okay, I'm gonna have you guys attention back up here. Does anyone want to volunteer a fact that they learned about Grand Teton National Park? Thank you.
7,000 feet above the Valley of Jasper.
What is? Great. Yes, thank you. Anybody else? Yeah,
Is over 12,000 feet high.
cool. You wanna say that again, Brady? What? You're kind of filling the hole. Sorry. Anyways, we can move on. So yeah, it was established in 1929. Much larger area than Fossil View, as you can see, by a couple 100,000 acres. And it does, Grand Teton rises 13,770 feet. And there's lots of prominent peaks, 12 others that are over 12,000 feet. None of them, we don't have any 14ers in the state, so almost. And as you can see there, there's a lot of wildlife in the area, 60 species of mammals, 300 species of birds, and fishing is also a big draw to the area. And from your Google Earth research, what portion of the state is located? Northwest, right along the northwest border, kind of by Idaho over there. So great. Cool. All right, so next we're gonna go with Yellowstone National Park. All right, before we get into your
Yellowstone National Park is huge, encompassing 2 million acres. In 1872, Congress made it the world's first national park. It is hidden within one of the most remote places in the lower 48. It's bigger than Rhode Island and Delaware combined. Right here, no road in any direction for 22 miles. A canyon 20 miles long. 17 rivers dissect the wilderness. Sweeping grasslands, more than enough to sustain Yellowstone's 4,000 bison. Yet, for all you can see, the real story behind Yellowstone is in what you can't see. Here, just underground, lies one of the world's largest volcanoes. It reveals itself at the surface in menacing ways, with mud pots that belch toxic gas and fumaroles that hiss with acid vapor, superheated pools of water, steam vents, and geysers attract some 3 million tourists a year. Few understand that Old Faithful won't be faithful forever. And one day, the volcano below may erupt. Underneath Yellowstone's surface, just 4 miles down, is a massive cauldron of magma. Its total volume enough to fill more than 3 Lake Michigans. It's been 640,000 years since it last erupted, and no one knows if or when it will explode again. Yellowstone is also home to 70 species of mammal. Elk and bison are just 2 of them. And Yellowstone is home to one of the greatest wildlife reintroduction success stories, the gray wolf. Wolves here were wiped out in the 1940s under an old predator eradication program. They were reintroduced in 1995. And the wolves have an influence on Yellowstone's elk and bison populations. By preying on elk and bison, they keep the populations of these herbivores at a stable level, which in turn helps keep Yellowstone ecosystems healthy. Life continues on Yellowstone's surface, and the molten earth beneath seemingly moves with a life of its own. And present-day visitors can witness the geologic splendor of its changes.
Alright, so while you find Yellowstone on Google Earth, can anyone tell me 2 facts they learned about the video? Right
First
there.
National Park.
Loved enthusiasm, thank you. Anyone else?
2 million acres.
Great job. Alright, go ahead and find where it's located in Wyoming on Google Earth. I'll give you about a minute or so to do this. You go ahead and raise your hand if you have the location. You ready to go? Alright. What did you guys find? What's that say? Just location related to the rest of the state. Yep, North Tetons. So, some facts, okay, can I have everyone's attention, please? Alright, so some facts about Yellowstone. As we mentioned, it was established as the first national park in the nation in 1872. It encompasses the northwest corner of the state. It contains 2,219,789 acres. It's got 67 species of mammals, 300 species of birds, and 16 species of fish. And it contains the majority of the world's geysers, which include Old Faithful, Mammoth Hot Springs, and we all know that super volcano destroyed all of us. Here are a few pictures of Yellowstone.
This is Mammoth Hot Springs. There's Old Faithful. All right, Corey.
everyone to take out their cell phones. It's time for a little quiz. You should have paid attention when the cell phone was ball right there.
Okay,
I have
so
no sympathy.
the first question is, fossil view is the largest deposit of what? Freshwater fish fossils, dinosaur remains, or Native American artifacts?
Rubric
Go
11,
ahead and text your answers.
Level 4. Analysis uses specific examples from work samples to demonstrate patterns of student learning consistent with the summary. This rubric slot is filled because at the end of our lesson we used an online assessment website to gauge how much the students learned from our lesson.
Yep, freshwater
We
fish
used
fossils.
specific examples from the work that we provided, and hopefully it was able to demonstrate that most students learned the basic facts that we wanted them to learn from the lesson.
Somebody vote for 1992. Everyone can tell us. Okay, great. Well, 9 of you got it right. 3 got it wrong.